Yes, I'm Billy Whitfield. Grew up at White Lake in the summer. My parents bought a house, pretty sure it was 1971. Myself and my cousins would come down here and stay the entire summer. We would all get jobs, um, either at Crystal Beach or Golden Beach or White Lake Beach. And that was my introduction to White Lake. Um, and so my parents, of course, they came down here prior to that, and now my children have grown up down here. So, just have an interest in the lake as far as, the next generation. And when Terry approached me, I would, gladly do what I can do or give any insight that I can give, whatever that may be. But so happy to be here.
Billy always has his mind on the lake. He's found an electronic device that some lakes are using. From my research, the bladder of the algae has to be a certain size for those mechanical things to work, but it's worth looking into. I haven't forgotten.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
I'm DG Melvin, and was not born here at the lake. I was actually born in Army hospitals. My dad was serving in Vietnam, but my family's from here. We're part of the Melvins here at White Lake. My grandfather had, was one of the mayors of the town when it was first started, and owned property and businesses. We had Tar Heel Cottages, Tar Heel Campground for years until just a few years ago. The family we sold the cottages. But I guess, as my wife says, the lake's in my blood, literally. So I think I've drank enough of it over the years. So, and I want to see us be good stewards of what we have. And I hope that I can give forth some insight, help, figure some things out where I can make it like it was for me, for my grandsons. Keep the legacy going. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Bert Garrett. As a youngster, we used to go camping down here quite a bit at Harold's. This was the furthest away from everything, so it was the least expensive. That's where my parents were gonna go. So we grew up, my brother and I, swimming in the lake, having a great time. Of course, we get to high school, camping's all over with the parents, so that's easy. And then my wife took a job here 9 years ago at SPT as a quality engineer. And the drive was a little bit too much from Goldsboro, that's where we're from. So we bought a place. Well, we both grew up here. She grew up here, coming here in high school, and hanging out as well. So we bought a place. I've enjoyed it. I currently work for the government, Seymour Johnson Air Force Base. I've worked in the engineering department, the environmental engineering department, I'm in the ops engineering department. So I've got a little bit of background. My concentration college was chemistry, and went to NC State. Hopefully I can learn some insight or some solutions that we can see about getting this place back to the way I remember it, because I remember flipping a quarter off the end of the pier, and my brother and I going diving for it, and you could watch it go all the way down the pit.
Yeah.
You
can read the date on it.
Couldn't quite read the date when I was there, but you could darn
Yeah.
sure see the quarter down there. So
Yeah.
it's not like that. It'd be nice if we could come up with some common sense solutions to get it back. That's why I'm here. We bought another house right next to us that come up for and renovated, and we like that out. Focus on the down here. Expensive money. So anyway.
You're on Woodbury or Louise?
Louise, the first two cabins that you come to, you turn on Louise.
Thank you. My parents, I think, bought our house in 67 or 68, so I didn't beat you by much. But really not, took many baths together, you know, that, and had working all day somewhere. But I'm sixth generation here. My great grandparents used to own this piece of property. They're buried right over here, right before you get to the grocery store. I've got pictures of my grandmother, he had a one of her dad. 1905. Pretty cool to know that it's been in my blood a long time. I just cannot tell you how much I appreciate you serving and helping so often, because it's very dear to my heart. And I hope for my grandchildren, I can get things clear. I'm afraid to lose one of them in the water, and that one terrifies me. So,
I'm Leighton Bedford. I'm from a little town.
you are not.
I was born in E-Town. I'm not gonna get into dates. But figure out that we, conclusions, but,
So I just said.
that's all I'm glad to.
What's hoping for more from you?
I'm Mary Kay Clark. I was born in Elizabethtown, a long time ago. Almost as long as Leighton.
Okay,
But, I have been part of White Lake for as long as I can remember. I own some property on, the north side next to the marina. And my family's, associated with the Camp River, so, I have both personal and business interests in the lake, and, you know, it's sad to see it like it is now, and I hope we can do something about it. I'll do my best to do what I can. Hope to be productive and work a good group that you're voted in the back on the well that I go. It's nice to meet all of you with you.
So Neil Turlington had agreed to serve on this board, and her name was approved by the town board. But then when the time was decided at 7 o'clock, she said it was too late because she'd have to get back to Wilmington. She said she would come to meetings, but she asked to be taken out of the list of 7. So Mary Kay was approved as an alternate, but not voted approved to serve on the board. So that will happen in the August meeting. The next time she'll be sitting up here. So on your agenda, the first thing we need to do is, we can let officers. So let's just skip on over to the draft of bylaws. If you will look through it,
This is identical to what you sent?
yes. So anything that you see that needs changing, the other advisory board changed their name from outdoor recreation to just recreation. So we had to take out all the pedestrian, bicyclists, all that kind of language of theirs. And they're going to work on that in a Google Doc so they can make changes and I'll see the changes. So if y'all know of anything that needs to be changed, you can let me know and I'll change it now. Or I'll share it again in a document so all 7 of you can work on it. But when we sit down next month, we want it just like we want it, so we can say approved bylaws, we'll get to the next thing.
Unless somebody really comes up with something crazy, I didn't have any issues with everything that I read. When you sent this, I didn't have any notes to add or change, or pretty much to me explains our purpose and how we're going to operate.
I was just, I like the water quality and quantity, but the title page is just quality.
So when it was approved,
Right.
when it was approved by the town board, they called it water quality. When I asked for the boards to be created, my name was water quality department. So when we approve the bylaws, we'll need, this board will need to agree to change the name
Change the name to,
to water quality and.
okay, okay,
Because right now the town just calls it water
I
quality.
got you. I do see on, I don't know which page it is. We're saying we're only gonna have 7 members. On here it says 9.
Yeah,
We need to change that.
yeah, it has to be 7. What article is it?
It's before section, oh, it's in section 2,
Article
article,
two,
see at the top.
Change that, yeah. Okay. Yeah. The template I have had 9, but the towns had 7. So. Okay. So Sean, for Zoom meetings in the future, does the town have everything that's needed to make that happen?
In what way?
Like when during COVID, town board meetings were through Zoom?
It just says in here that we have a Zoom option.
Yeah, let me double check that. Do we have everything we need? Yes. Some of that language changed after COVID, after the emergency declaration, especially in terms of conducting a meeting policy. I think a board member can, for instance, a board member can attend by Zoom, but they can't vote at that meeting. So they're technically counted absent, but they can still Zoom in.
So they can listen. You said what? I'm sorry.
That went to that issue, not long ago, Dean and Jake, I think, were both, Commissioner Hill, Commissioner Wobble, were both absent. But they attended, they could hear discussion, but their votes were not counted, and they were ultimately marked, I believe they were marked absent, that's the part I have to double check. But a lot of that language, when the natural disaster declaration, the emergency proclamation was lifted by the governor, some of that. So that might be something the board will submit to their bylaws, if they want to leave that, it's up to you, but the statutes of the meeting laws.
Either that or change the language, because yeah, the way this looks is means, to me, I would say that I would be present, yeah, the way we have it right now.
Right, and
Yeah.
I'll tell you that by and large, I've always ruled that add to general statutes, but you can't take away from.
Correct.
So if ever there's a question, even if we adopt a local ordinance that conflicts or contradicts, the local ordinance is well.
Okay.
Statute takes precedence. So this would be one of those situations. And it's really tricky because during COVID and for a time period after COVID, virtual meetings were planned.
Right. Yeah.
But I'll double check.
Yeah, like Lumber River, those board meetings have option to Zoom.
They have a hybrid option, but I think they have to have a full present. Which again, one of the things I want to look into that. I don't want to tell you something that's impossible.
Well, if we have to have a forum present, can we change it to 9?
That's a town rule, so. They voted to set up numbers. That'll have to be something they can talk about themselves. And also, if you have 4 or 9, it works. Because you have to have 5 presidents.
Mhm. Mm-hmm.
But we got
Mm-hmm.
4 members to pull them.
You just have to have 5 presidents in that situation.
So I have a question. Not all of us live here.
Correct.
I understand why. I was just making sure that I was hearing properly.
Yeah, the other board, only 2 of the people of the 7 live here.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's tough. Small community.
And I think having people that don't live here give us give us more depth.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Have people from other communities that see
Yeah.
the way other things are done, and
Yeah,
so it's a,
yeah,
Probably a good mix.
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And then
I don't
in
have
the
an
last
issue with it.
meeting-
I was just making sure I was thinking properly. As far as the quorums and the meetings and the, you know,
Yeah,
okay,
And again, I want to double check myself. I don't want anybody to leave here today thinking that it is the way it is, or that is the way it is. I just think that's the way it is, so I'll go
Sure.
back, double check, read through the statutes and then certainly follow them.
thanks.
all right.
That was the only thing was the number that I had seen. After when you sent back that there was 7. That was the only thing that I had seen. And then, of course, I guess like what we're saying, the Zoom option would be,
What article is it? 7 membered one.
2. At the very top of the page. Nothing.
Cool. Okay, there, okay, got you.
Maybe I also look at the language only, it's been referenced a couple of times tonight, so I just want to mention. If you also look at the language for the ordinance that was adopted for advisory boards by the town board, it is available on the website.
okay,
There's an advisory board section underneath government, I think it's the government tab. And right to the right hand corner, advisory board listed. So that's, in the future, you'll find your minutes there, your agendas there, your meeting recordings there. The ordinance is there, their advisory boards in general, the applications, their advisory board is there. So it's sort of designed with this initial be a one-stop shop, their advisory boards, but if there's any question about the ordinance itself. To which the orders are derived from, it's available.
You don't want to do any brainstorm, making a list of bills.
One thing to be, add on that to the folks and scope.
Yeah.
With the, activities. I think it's important for us to recognize that this is the calendar day and it doesn't need differences. As such. And that part of our problem is that there's been a lot of altering of shape naturally this system. There was, as you mentioned, somehow in here that we recognize that it's a unique, geological feature. Known as the Carolina Bed, and we'd like to protect and restore and that kind of the things that we can to bring back that unique consistent structure. And not to disrupt it in the more perfect.
For the template, all of it, a couple of other features like Carolina Bay, not just white lake. Like Daydream.
Yeah, all of it. John's Lake Cemetery, Daydream. And all of
The white lake, part of that group,
Yeah.
not just the standard.
yeah. And we are a standalone part of the geologic feature that only part of the southeastern United States.
there's thousands. Noted as Carolina Bays, there's thousands, yeah.
All right, would that go in section 1?
What you invite,
Purpose and scope.
section 2 without you. Morning is to pick up and see things. This one is that.
For the sake. Well, for the sake of not having to go through all the technical things at the next meeting. Staff can review this, but one thing I see right away is the language is a little different from going its own section, or excuse me, article 4. A chairman and a vice chairman is listed, but a secretary is not. And then, under section 5, duties, chairman, vice chairman, interim chairman, whereas interim chairman doesn't exist. So,
You have anything on your heart you need to them goals and brainstorm?
One thing I'm not being here is about monitoring, like monitoring. Was that a job purpose here?
No.
I'm thinking, well, my background is science and, so I just, I'm thinking like a scientist, but, you need data to do things, and to make changes, in my opinion, and to, be effective. And, I think we need to know more about what's going on with the monitoring and why. What exactly is being sampled, why it's being sampled, where, and when the sampling is occurring. Why are the samples being sent all the way across the country, to be analyzed? I think they could be analyzed in one county. You know, is what we're doing as far as monitoring effective, and are we using the data in the best way? I guess I'm brainstorming here, but that's from a science background, that's really important to recognize that research, monitoring, inventory, and management are the things that you think of in conservation biology. So monitoring gives you your baseline and your data that you feel and helps you to make decisions about informed decisions about them. And then, you know, maybe there's some research that you'd like to be involved in or support based on that data. Inventory is, you know, I think pretty obvious. You're looking at what the ecosystem is all about and what encompasses the various parts that affect like water quality, quality. And then management uses all of that information to make good management recommendations. So, it's something that monitoring and researching into it and try to this idea there.
Have you and Diane figured out when she's coming to speak to the board?
I have, certainly given update to about the going future on that. As a staff liaison, at this point, I don't have.
Where is she based out of?
Carolyn,
Where?
South Carolina.
And, very thankful, so, the data is critical. File searching of full of data that, and in my mind, I'm thinking groundwater. The fifth bullet under Article 1, Section 3. This all in the study that was on the council goes. That was done, what, 4 years ago, 5 years ago? And the gentleman that gave presentation, it was like his second or third slide. I do not have the groundwater data. I do not have the groundwater data to complete this study. I think maybe there's a good point that monitoring is important. Let's not just think about surface water. Let's not just think about the rainwater. Let's think about the whole water complex. And why did we take percentage wise from surface water, from groundwater, make a healthy rate elevation?
So one thing you're calling for is a groundwater study that Lumber River Council government requested 4 years ago.
I'd love for that gentleman to come give us that presentation if he can. Without the groundwater data, the formula is short. In terms of volumes coming through the lakes.
Was he with the state? Do you know at the time?
Lumber River Council, yeah.
I don't know what body that's called.
Okay.
All I know is it just, I know it fell out of my chair.
Yeah. Yeah.
And his data may show that it's all rain. But the lake is fed by rain. Those of us that have lived here as long as we have and have played up this from, no, that's not the case. We need that data.
And there's a way, a groundwater study would be able to give us information on what we're missing now from what we used to have.
Well, it may be in the groundwater section. Monitoring water. I don't know where the closest groundwater monitoring site is for the state. But that leads you to the next, which is a file search for industrial size groundwater outflow or uptake. This industry is permitted to pull X thousands of gallons a day. And after they use it, where does it go? How is it made? And you put however many of those industries that have shown itself in the past 45 years, all of them pulling from groundwater, all of them discharging what they're not using. That's water that's not coming to the lake. Data.
Excuse me, sir, that study you're talking about, I was here for the presentation on it. Where is it on the White Lake website? There it is.
WildlifeWatch.com.
At the bottom of the first page.
What they call?
Watch.
Oh, okay.
Which is also linked if you go to the town website at the top, there's a tab that says lake. So, with- as well. The lake quality, which would take you directly to them.
What was that company's name?
Jim, Harry,
Team Carey. It was very. Very easy. What they had was very easy.
so do you know if there are grants for reimbursed studies?
I don't, I've not come across one, and that certainly doesn't mean one doesn't do this.
If there are what to.
Grants for reimbursed studies?
There is a shallow draft inland lake fund. That falls under the division of ones. That's where some of the inlets get some of their funding for dredging. And it's where inland lakes that have vegetation problems get some funding for vegetation management.
Shallow draft and what?
Inland lake.
Is that the one that has to have a classification to qualify for funds? I'm asking because I don't know.
I'm not aware of the classification.
I know there's a pot of money for DEQ where you got the body of water has to be classified. I don't want to say the wrong term. Unless it falls under that classification, the money time pay the one, I'm not sure if that's the same.
I don't know, I'll be figuring with him, I will be them with both, but there's a section and a pot of that money that's cleaved off of that tax. That goes to the lake. I don't know that we could certainly file and call it forever, but it's just as important. This is called share.
Yeah, I was just asking, we've had some conversations with state officials along this term, now, God, and I don't think it's the same problem.
It seems that, with it being a state-owned lake, that's the conversations I've been hearing the last 10 years, just having been in the dry cleaning business some 48 plus years and dealing with environmental issues with the state. It's not an easy battle, but you do have, and this is a whole different scenario, but monitoring wells, just like at gas stations. I got 6 sites in Wilson that has monitoring wells, and every year I get a report from the state.
It's a monitor.
An update and a bill, which there was a fund set up from that years ago that your solvent was taxed $10 per gallon, which went into this cleanup fund, which that was a big help. So, I just don't know if there's anything like that is available to lakes, state-owned lakes. I've never investigated it. But just something maybe worth checking into.
I said, we're checking anything we can think of to get help.
John Boyette, the whale man, he may be able to add a lot more to a broader discussion than what we can talk about tonight.
John's on this.
Yeah, because he's been a member of several statewide boards maybe on some now, but I know over the years. So he definitely would know either contacts or grants or other ways for us to get
Yeah,
some
that's
help.
his,
Yeah.
that's his,
It's his
that's what he
world.
does.
Yeah, it's his world. Yeah,
That's right.
he's very good. Yeah, I agree. I think he'll be a nice asset. Well, he and I have talked about it before. If you're not going to get the springs to go back to what they were, but he can dig a well and we can pump it in there. He said, "Show me where, and I'll start putting them down." He'd bring the machine down here tomorrow, but state owned. So there's things that regulations and
We may have to change legislation to get some things done, like to clean up the sludge on that side of the lake. And to put low pH water into the lake. Right now, there is legislation in place that says you can't take anything out or put anything in.
that's what I've always read and heard.
It was changed because the planes were scooping water out of the lake to put forest fires out. And so
Okay.
I was concerned about fish. But, yeah,
Did we record that when we were in Fayetteville? For that presentation, was that recorded?
no. It was not, and he has since been told that he talked to us or about his superiors. So all we've gleaned is what we've got. That was a representative of DEQ in Fayetteville, who studied the aquifers under the lake for his entire career. He retires next year. And all those files are going to be lost. Something doesn't happen.
Worth consulting comes from.
Heck, yeah.
Yes, he had some very good information. Stuff that he
Yeah, very good.
gathered himself and had maps and. Wow.
Yeah, when I started putting this board together, I contacted him, texted him, emailed, called him. And there was a while that we talked every Friday. And it went cold, and Steve found out that it was because his boss told him he couldn't talk to her. The politics are crazy on him. So. I appreciate y'all coming. I'm sorry we can't vote on officers, because I know you're all dying to know who's gonna be chairman, vice chairman, and secretary. So maybe point you out, but be ready when you come back, okay?
So our next meeting will be the
The day of NC State's first football game. Is that gonna mess up?
it's not gonna mess me up.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, God, here we go.
Thoughts on that, I'll say it.
Susie's already told me she.
No quorum again.
Sorry, that's how I know when it is. The 28th of August.
Okay. 7 o'clock, always, right?
Yeah. And now November and December, we're not coming on Thanksgiving or Christmas, which is
Thanks,
the way it falls.
thanks.
So we'll figure something else out. November to December. What?
But it won't be Zoom.
No, it won't be soon. All right, you're gonna let us know about that for sure.
So.
Yeah,
I'll. I remember that. They have to be there and just, you can stop doing it here. They let it back to work, all of a sudden, everybody came voting.
yeah, it's easier to me, just take the verbiage out, yeah. If you're not here, you're absent. We don't have a quorum like tonight. I mean, it is what it is, but need to be here. Or not be on the board. You know, I mean, we all have things now and then that will take us away, but this is a commitment, I feel like.
Well, I don't resent Ray not being here, because if I could be in Aruba right now.
Yeah, right. It's nice that we have so many absences, but you know, we do need a quorum.
Yes, we do.
We do need a quorum.
So the people who aren't, can you give a little, synopsis of who they are?
Sure, Ray Cross was born in Elizabethtown.
Oh, yeah, that's that.
Was a dentist here forever. He's retired now. Lives in Charter Code.
The wife from the parking lot still, right?
Wife owns the parking lot. Used to ski with us. He was my partner. Alan Pittman is an attorney in Fayetteville. And he has very strong feeling about the water clarity at White Lake.
So he's property owner.
Yes. He owns the house his wife grew up in at the lake.
Well, cool.
His brother-in-law skied with him. I pulled him 360 around
So,
the boat.
who's his wife?
Roy McLeod is his brother-in-law, and Jeannie.
Okay.
It's on Alfred, the end of Alfred,
Mm-hmm.
on the left,
Mm-hmm.
the old stucco seawall.
Yeah.
Is that it? And John Royette lives in
Turco.
Sure, of course.
Turtle Cove. He grew up on Tar River, but we'll forgive him that.
He was a ski hill for years though, too, right?
Him and Candy.
During tournaments, no.
Not during tournaments. Okay. Just so he can chase Candy.
Him and Candy met down
Yeah.
there
So he can chase Candy.
years
Yeah.
ago.
But Tar River was always
Yeah.
like home.
He's a well driller. He's the one we're talking about, a well driller. Yeah.
And well drillers can look at water and tell you how many gallons going by per minute.
Yeah.
Yes, it was the rest of us done.
I helped him to get into the geothermal world years ago, and I know he's been on several of those boards, nationwide and statewide, district-wide, with geothermal, which is all groundwater application.
Anything else for the
So,
good of us all?
Ma'am,
Anything else?
not for me, no ma'am.
Thank you. I guess in the future, it would be helpful if we knew if you couldn't be here. So if there wasn't a form, people wouldn't travel from other places. If you knew ahead of time, John didn't know ahead of time.
So we would, I guess, once we elect the chairperson, let the chairperson know? So is that what we're thinking?
But John just had a work emergency today, so
Oh, it happens.
we wouldn't have been able to plan around.
It happens.
Well, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Public comment? Anybody got a public comment? It's not a real meeting, you don't have to.
Kind of got none.
You gotta do that, it's not cool.
How many years you been here, Lightning?